Uh-oh. 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 Here we go. Relevant Sports Talk, episode 9, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, welcome back, guys. Relevant Sports Talk, episode 9. Get into the comments. Thank y'all for supporting. Appreciate y'all being here and watching. Definitely a lot of feedback. Gonna get into the first thing. I'm getting a whole lot of feedback. I've been getting it, an hour ago, Brandon? About the Dak Prescott jump. All I'm saying is he worth over $31 to $40 million a year? Really? I mean, I know he won Rookie of the Year. Probably should have been Zeke's. He got 2 division titles in the NFC least. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't trying to poo-poo on it or nothing like that, but I don't know. But it is what it is. I'm just saying, I mean, if you can get Cam out there for 20, you can get all these people for cheaper. I just don't see him $40 million or whatever. And, you know, the people were saying about Carson Wentz and Jared Goff's contracts. Well, Jared Goff's contracts is the laughing stock of the whole league. And Gurley's. That's why Gurley's been gone. Who would have thought 2 years ago Todd Gurley would be not a Ram? I mean, everybody thought he was going to be a Ram, and everybody thought he was going to be dope. I mean, everybody did. You know what I'm saying? And I think Jared Goff's going to be gone next year, too. I think he's going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the Cowboys, like I was saying before, the Patriots, Cowboys, the Steelers, they just don't make those mistakes, it seems like, when it comes to free agencies and overpaying people. It seems like they always do the right thing. And if you look at the winning, then that's what sustainable thing. That's what happens, you know what I mean? So you can get some more feedback on that. You know, I've been going at it with Brandon a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. I like the dude. I like Dak Prescott. I wish he wasn't a Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. All right, let's get to Tua. All right, everybody's talking about Tua. You going to sit him? You going to let him play if he's clearing it out? I went back and forth with this. People were saying this, people were saying that. I'm kind of getting swayed in my prior opinion. I was saying, you know, let him sit, make sure he's ready next year, da-da-da. And then I was like, well, if he's cleared to play, you got to put him on the field. And I ain't think about it that way because from the money aspect, I wasn't thinking about it from the money aspect. I'm thinking like you gonna have it forever. You know, that's not the case. You know what I mean? You get these rookie deals. Everything's financial now. These rookie contracts, you know what I'm saying? You get these 5 years. Well, if you let him sit, then next year it's going to be his rookie year. He's going to struggle because you know a rookie's always going to struggle. I mean, even great ones struggle. You know what I mean? That's 2 out of those 5 years he's already gone. So is he going to be able to take the Dolphins to the Super Bowl in those 3 years after that? I mean, it's going to be slim, but I guess you never know. But you got to try to maximize whatever you can. So I'm to the point where if he gets clearance from all the doctors, the Dolphins, and they say, it's cool, I'm like, put him on the field, yo. I mean, you ain't going to win the Super Bowl anyway. Kind of like what I was saying about Haskins. You ain't going to win anyway. Let him play. Let him get all the kinks out. I mean, nothing better to get you going than live competition, not holding the clipboard. Practice ain't for real. Practice ain't 100%. And if somebody tells you that it is, it ain't the truth. Real game action is different. It's a little faster. I remember Marcus, when I was talking to my son, from high school to playing college football. Well, he was just on the prep school team, but still, they had to play against the Navy JV team. And they played him, and I said, well, what was the hardest thing? It looked like y'all were doing good. He's like, yeah. But the first little bit, you have to get used to the speed of the game. So it ain't always the same. So just your opinions on that. Jaguars talking about, oh, we're staying with Fournette now. We're going to keep him now. Da, 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 da. All right. One of 2 things is probably going to happen with that. They're either saying that, trying to drive up his trade value, which I think it is, and I don't think he's going to play no games. Over-under on 1 game playing with the Jaguars, I'm saying under. I don't think he's going to be on the team at all this year. For real. If he does happen to play, if the Jaguars keep him, whatever, I bet you I'm going to be taking him in fantasy early. Because they're going to give this dude like 30 carries a game. They're going to run him to the ground. They're going to run him just like the Cowboys did to Marco Murray when they ran him to the ground. It was like, all right, you can roll. and you ain't heard from him since. You know what I'm saying? With the Eagles, all these people, he ain't nowhere to be found. Speaking of running backs, 37-year-old Frank Gore. in his 16 years now is going to be a Jet. I mean, it's crazy. People are talking about, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? He's third in rushing. Sorry, I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You can hate all you want to. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't care. You're third in rushing? I don't care how long it took you. First of all, they talk about the running back position. You only survive a handful of years. Well, he survived 16. So if you can survive 16 years rushing and being third on the rushing list, you're going to be a Hall of Famer. Which means, what is the value of the running backs? You know, I look at people just like we were talking about Fournette and Gurley. You know, Fournette, Gurley coming out of college, it was like, and then you got guys like Le'Veon Bell and Gordon. Melvin Gordon just now got with Denver. We didn't even know if anybody was going to pick him up. And then Le'Veon Bell. Now that Gore's on there with the Jets, is Gore there to help mentor Bell, to try to get him, you know, focus on the right things? Or is Bell going to be gone too? And so I'm looking at all these running backs that were high hopes for and everything. I mean, everybody thought like, whoa, is Ezekiel Elliott going to be the next one? Is he going to be there after this year? If he don't win, I don't know. It's crazy because then you look at people like Frank Gore. And then you look at people like Marshawn Lynch, who's about to come back again out of retirement. I mean, it's crazy. And then like Adrian Peterson. These guys are like staples, and they can still play for almost every team. And so what is the value of a running back? Is the running back devalued really? Or is it just we're not picking the right running backs to value? Because, I mean, I'm looking at it like Marshawn Lynch and Adrian Peterson, they've been around for a minute. And it ain't like they were avoiding hits. When they were playing, they were the bell cows on their team, you know, for a while. When you thought about Minnesota Vikings football, you thought about Adrian Peterson. You know what I'm saying? Marshawn Lynch in Buffalo and in Seattle. You know what I mean? And, you know, so it's interesting what y'all think about the running backs and stuff like that, because I'm looking at it like, you know, I don't know. It's tough, man. I mean, that's why it's going to be hard for Derrick Henry to get paid. Because it's like, why do I pay you? And then you might wind up being like Fournette and Gurley and everybody else. Like, you know, you're not going to be lucky getting a Lynch or a Peterson that's going to last for a long time, or a Frank Gore. Put up those numbers. But so we'll see. The schedule gets released in a couple hours, so I'm hyped to see that. They gave a little snippet. Said the Patriots are going to have the hardest schedule. I said, dang, Stidham and Belichick, y'all got the hardest schedule. If he goes up there and win 11 games with the hardest schedule, I mean, I'm just saying, Belichick, he might want that challenge, tell you the truth. Who got the easiest schedule? How do Ravens get the easiest? Now, granted, it's all on paper. We never know year to year. We never know who's going to be doing what. But I think we're going to see what we should have saw last year. Ravens and Chiefs AFC Championship game, maybe. I don't know. But with the Ravens having the easiest schedule, if they got home field, I'd like to see it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We don't know what's going to even happen, but I'm just looking forward to whatever we can get, really. Is anybody out there watching the Korean Baseball League? Do I need to start looking up some stuff on that? Is anybody watching it? All right, let's get some basketball talk, and then we go get to the big topic. Patrick Ewing got his gold medal stole? For real? Come on, Isaiah. You want one that bad? I'm just playing. But that's crazy. How come you don't hear? I ain't never heard about this before until all this talk with Isaiah and the Dream Team and all. Now he talking about, yo, my medals were stolen. What you trying to say? I thought it was kind of fishy. But anyway, if the NBA resumes, there's tons of storylines, endless storylines. We could talk about so many different things and who's going to do what. But here's the weirdest thing that I've just seen. If they talk about the Nets, who are currently 7th in the East. Talking about Durant's out here running around, jumping, playing, doing all this stuff. Didn't we hear this story before? Didn't he do this with the Golden State? Running around doing this and this, and then what happened? You know what I'm saying? So, Nets, why are you even talking about it? Why are you even talking? You ain't gonna let him play? Why are you even bringing it up? Why? You ain't gonna take a chance on coming back with this weird year with Kyrie already hurt. Kyrie's already hurt. I don't even know if he would be back or not. To do what? What you got to gain? You're the 7th seed. That means you would have to play the 2, then you'd have to play the 3, and then you have to play. I mean, it's just too much. It's too much. Just stop talking about it. Say we gonna be ready for next year. Get your new coach, because you ain't even got a coach. You ain't even got a coach yet either. So, temper down Nets. They shouldn't even be talking about the Nets. But if you did come back, could they win? No. Answer's no. Answer's no. All right. So here's my big discussion here. I was wondering how I was gonna bring this up, and if I was gonna bring it up at first. I was watching The Last Dance, the last episode, and I wasn't gonna say nothing at first. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was watching it, and I don't know. It was something about the last episode that watching Michael Jordan, it seemed kind of like wimpy-ish. Like, I don't know. Like he was complaining a lot. Like, I can't go out nowhere. Why y'all asking me about the gambling? I'm tired. I don't know. It seemed kind of whiny a little bit. And I was just like, is this Michael Jordan? The episode right before this dude's on the bus talking about, I want to take your money. We only betting for $1. I want your money in my pocket. And then we're like, I can't go to a bar. I can't go to a club. And I understand. I couldn't imagine what being Michael Jordan was back in that day. Couldn't imagine the hoopla and everybody up on him and the figure that he was. I mean, I couldn't imagine the pressure of being, I know there's pressure about being Michael Jordan, but I'm going to tell you this, though. With pressure and success, gives you the ability to do anything you want to do. You, Michael Jordan, you want to go to a club? You call that club and say, I'm Michael Jordan. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars, empty that junk out, I'm coming in, and I'm bringing who I want, or I want you to leave who I want in there. You're Michael Jordan. You can do whatever you want to do. Go buy your own bar and attach it to your house if you want to. I don't care. You can do whatever you want to do. That's my point. Like, you talking about, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. You do whatever you want to do. You're Michael Jordan. So if you choose to do it, you can do it. You want to rent out King's Dominion? You can rent that out. You want to tell certain people to meet you there because you want to hang out with them? Then they can do that too. You're Michael Jordan. Stop being a wuss about that kind of shit. And then he's talking about, maybe I'm going to retire. Don't ask me about gambling. And I was like, I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to say nothing. But then with all this Charles Barkley stuff coming up. Barkley, I used to hate Charles Barkley when he played. Because he used to always, when he played with the Suns, he used to always go against the Sonics. I was a big Sean Kemp fan. People that know me back then knew I used to love Sean Kemp. And Seattle and the Suns were battling the playoffs, boy. But as an announcer, as a commentator, Barkley is the truth. He might be my favorite, actually. He tells it like it is and don't even care. He'll tell you this and this and this and this and this. Whatever. And that's one thing you can say as Barkley as a player. Was there any shortcomings? Nope. They told him he was too short to play in the NBA. What did he do? Busted butt. And he said, I'm the round mountain rebound. And there ain't nothing he can do about it. I like that. And he does it the same way he's on TV. So for him to say something about Michael Jordan, after he already says, I love him, he's like a brother to me, we've been friends for over 20 some odd years, and then he's saying the truth about you. Not making up some things that's unbelievable. No, it's the truth. He was talking about the way he ran the Bobcats. The Bobcats. Yeah, they're really an NBA team. It's still an NBA team, the Bobcats. Yeah, I know people forget who they are because they're irrelevant. But he talked about how he ran them. He said he had too many yes men, and he kept having friends, and he would never be successful until he stopped doing that. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Is it the truth? Is it true? Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. Like, I look at it as when he was a player. Kept playing the Pistons or whatever. He knew he had to get stronger. Got his team to get stronger. You knew you had to do something different to beat them. Right? He got into the system and they said, hey, you can get to the playoffs, you kept losing. They said, you're just a scorer. The announcer saying, you're just a scorer. You're not a winner. You're just a scorer. So then he figured it out. He adapted to different things to change the way he was doing things. And it worked. And now he's the ultimate winner now, right? 6 final wins out of 6 NBA Finals MVPs. He's considered the ultimate winner, right? So I look at it like, Why couldn't you do that as a GM owner or whatever else? You know, you started in Washington, and that was a catastrophe. I mean, need I say anything besides Kwame Brown? I mean, come on, man. If you can't tell that that's not working out, and then you buy a team, and that team is so irrelevant for so many years, the draft people that you get, the free agents that you get, none of those ever pan out. How many years would it take for you to realize you needed to change something? So obviously what Barkley was saying was right. But you as a competitor should have known that. You knew as a player the things you had to do. So if you don't, I'm not saying you have to know everything. I've coached sports for a long time. People that know me, I coach football, basketball, baseball. And actually some of y'all helped me do it. Here's my thing. I'm not saying I know everything about anything. But if I knew I didn't feel comfortable about teaching this to somebody, I made sure I had somebody beside me that knew all these things. I'm gonna have somebody that played lineman. I'm gonna have somebody that played running back. I'm gonna have this and I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have a track person, a fitness person. I'm gonna have people with me that knows all the nuances about things so I can make things successful for them kids. Which, what I'm saying for him, you're Michael Jordan. If you don't know everything about everything, then you are Michael Jordan. You can probably get the best scouting director. You can get the best person to check this and the best person to check this. Who's going to say no to Michael Jordan? They'd be happy to work for you. If you cared about the success of your franchise, you know what I mean? Then you wouldn't have had these problems. You wouldn't have had people. It wasn't just Barkley yelling at you and crying about you or whatever, but you in your feelings because it's Barkley. And he should have known better. He should have known because you're my friend. You know, I get sensitive about those things. Why? Why are we going to get, why? Then you should know Barkley because Barkley ain't changed. Barkley go in there and talk about anybody. He'll talk about anybody and don't care because that's his job. And then when they come back at Barkley, he's like, hey, he'll eat it up. I mean, him and Shaq battle every time they on TNT. And what's the one thing that Shaq always says to him? You ain't got no rings. Does Barkley cry and boo-hoo about it? No, he'd be like, no. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like your skin wasn't as thick as I thought it was. Maybe you just ain't got that Mamba skin like I thought he did. That's my only point. I'm not saying that he's LeBron wimpy-ish. No, but like there's a level to it that I feel like part of that level in my mind, got taken off a little bit seeing all these things. You know, I'm looking at like, people are coming at me like, well, that's good friends. He should have called him and let him know that he was going to throw him under the bus. And he was going to say these things about him on national TV and his friends and things of that nature. Here's my question. If anybody saw the very first episode of Last Dance, the very first episode, what did Michael Jordan say? He said he knocked on the door of the hotel room. All of a sudden, everything got quiet. He heard people whispering. They're like, who is it? He said, yo, it's MJ. They're like, oh, yo, that's just that rookie, yo. That's just that rookie. Let him in. Oh, it's just that rookie. He said he walked into the door and what happened? He said they had the coke lines over here. They had the weed smokers over here. And then they had the women back here, right? So those people that's in that room is on this team, right? They friends, right? You playing on a team? Y'all friends? You going to hang out with them, so y'all friends. Y'all chilling, right? Did he call every single one of them on his team to say, hey, I'm going to do this documentary for things we did years and years and years ago? You might want to tell your wife and everything that I'm going to be talking about the drugs and the women that y'all was messing with. Did Michael Jordan do that? No, he didn't. Stop crying. Stop crying. That's supposed to be your friend of over 20-something years. Don't get me wrong. Friends are going to do things to friends that's going to piss them off. But if you can't get past certain things, I'm not saying everything's going to happen. You can't disagree with your friend and get it right back after that. But eventually you get to a point where it's like, yo, that's my boy. That's my friend. Hell with all the rest of the stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You talk about over, y'all, how long y'all been mad at each other? For what? I mean, I've had friends, I'm sure I've done and said things to friends that they were pissed off. You know what I mean? Or likewise, or vice versa. People have done stuff to me that I've been pissed off. Maybe not spoke to them in a while, or whatever. But then it comes back around because that's your boy, that's your friends, man. Friends are more forgiving of their own friends' mistakes than anybody else. Why you crying over that? Because you said I sucked at what I was doing? You did suck at what you were doing. Fix that. Don't worry about what he's saying. Fix the problem. That's all. That's my whole point. Fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? When I think about Kobe and different things, and you know, him and Shaq had their issues. And what Kobe do? He went straight up to Shaq's face. Yo, you're fat. We can't win with you being fat. Get in shape. Was Shaq happy about that? No. Did they get in arguments? Yeah. But did it stop for him saying, you're fat? And if you want to get fat, what happened? He got traded. All I'm saying is, you know, and I know the whole thing about supposedly Kobe said something about Shaq's girl or something, messing with a girl, whatever. But did that stop him from answering the questions about it or anything? No. And needless to say, I say anything about Colorado. Colorado, when that happened, that might be the hardest thing and the worst thing to ever have to do. You gonna get questions about having an affair on your wife. I can't think of many things harder to do in the public eye than that, aka Tiger Woods. Come on. What's harder than that? Oh, we think you have a gambling problem. Oh, we heard you raped a girl in her butt and cheated on your wife. Which one's harder there? Getting accused of anally raping a woman or gambling? Hey, get out of here, yo. He took it like a man. And then when his coaches and everything said, hey, we got to play a game against the Denver Nuggets. If you don't want to fly here and whatever, you don't have to. You don't have to play. You can stay. We couldn't imagine what you would have to go through. What Kobe said? Nope. He relished in that. He used that as just a mind flip for that Mamba mentality to say, I'm not going to let you take this away from me. Yeah, I made a mistake. We all human. We make mistakes. But I'm going to do this. And if y'all want to boo me and do this, watch what I do to you. He twisted the whole thing and destroyed them every time he played them. Right? That's my point. That's the difference to me, yo. That's the difference to me. But I'm going to get off of that. I'm anxious to see what anybody has to say about that or if at all. But I just had to get that out there because the mentality part of the whole thing is crazy. When I saw that, I was just like, there is a chink in the armor of Michael Jordan. And there it is. Now I'm anxious to see what else might pop up. But last night, I don't know if anybody saw that 98 All-Star game. That was awesome. Of course, we saw Jordan. Jordan was out there killing. It was about him. You know, it was his last game. He won MVP. It was about Kobe, first ever All-Star game. That was dope. But did y'all see who was broadcasting? Isaiah was on the broadcast. Wasn't that crazy? With all the stuff going on, Isaiah's in the broadcast. But he was saying good stuff about Jordan the whole time. It wasn't like they hated each other or nothing. It was crazy. But some other stuff I saw in there, man. Like I said, I was huge Sean Kemp fan. See Sean Kemp in a Cavs uniform? That was so heartbreaking seeing that because I remember when that trade happened, Vin Baker. You see Vin Baker's bust himself in there, missing layups. Couldn't hit the rim on the bottom of the rim on one of his shots. Boom, that was the dumbest trade ever. Made me so angry. But you saw Sean Kemp took 4 rookies on the Cavs to the playoffs. Yeah, Kemp did that. Vin Baker ain't do nothing. Gary Payton out there. You know, I used to love some GP when he was with Sean Kemp. He ain't win nothing when Sean Kemp left when he was with Vin Baker. Nothing. Another thing I saw out there, Shaq was out there with the Lakers uniform, but did you see Penny? I forgot about, nobody. Think about if that game was in today's generation. All them storylines on our social media would be like, Anthony Hardaway going up against Shaq. Now he's the leader of the team. Now Shaq's new sidekick, Kobe, against... They would have blended all kinds of things in there. They would have made that junk crazy. But it was crazy watching it. And I know y'all saw President Trump in there, in the crowd. Yo, Trump's been chilling forever, yo. Trump's been just chilling. He's had a life. But, yeah, man, I ain't gonna run too much on this. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Schedules tonight. Let me know what y'all think about the Jordan things and the aspects of that. Maybe I'm looking at it a different way. Maybe I ain't. Or maybe someone want to add to it. Or some of the other things we were talking about, the running backs. Or anything, guys. Appreciate it. Keep spreading the word, man. I need some more followers. Need some more subscribers. So I can try to get this rolling a little bit more. But I appreciate y'all. Be safe. Thanks again for everybody out there. Healthcare workers, frontline workers. All right, love y'all. Peace.